everyone, welcome back to Leaf Yarns Podcast. My name's Ellie and I am the dyer behind Leaf Yarns, the host behind Leaf Yarns Podcast, and this is my YouTube channel. So this is, for those that are returning new viewers, should we say, hi and thanks for checking me out. My podcast is primarily about knitting, but also crochet, sewing, cross stitch and hand dyeing yarns and other shop stuff. It's been 2.5 weeks since I last recorded, primarily because I have just been so crazy busy and it got a bit much, and so I needed to just take a step back for a week and go, no, headspace, you know, look after myself, and then everything else follows. So I don't know if I said the date. Today is Wednesday the 10th of April. It's actually my big brother's birthday today. Not that he watches. And it is 22 minutes to 4. I have a nice Dixie clock over there that Abby got me for Christmas. I love it. So I'm working the best I can. If I look up, you can see the reflection from the light, so I'm going to try not to. If it gets bothersome, or I catch it in the camera or whatever, then I will try and take them off and see how we get on. So I've got my nice cup of tea that Kira made me, which is really nice. It's just a clip of tea, but it's nice. So I have got a lot to talk to you about today. It's going to be quite a long episode, I feel. But I will try and condense it down. So, a little bit of admin before we start. There are 3 weeks left for the Leaf Yarns Cal 1, which is to make anything using my yarns or my pattern and enter it in the Ravelry thread, and there are prizes. There will be a skein of yarn and 2 patterns. If anyone else wants to donate a prize for the giveaway, this one, you know, for this cal or anything in the future, please get in touch with me. I'd be delighted. Okay, so the other bit of admin I have, I got another job, as in not Leaf Yarns, not working for myself. Now I'm being very sensible and I have managed to get myself a little part-time job in a local shop, so that I have got that extra bit of income as a safety barrier, should we say. So I know that even on the slow weeks with the yarns and whatever in my shops, I've got that backup income, just because I was beginning to fret a little bit because I relaunched the company. Not many people know yet, and so my customer base isn't very big. So now I have my safety net in the fact that I have a day job and now I have this as well. So yeah, with that in mind, my shifts are all over the place. Now I will still try and record on a Wednesday. It'll probably be in the afternoon. If not a Wednesday, it'll be a Thursday, but I am only going to be doing it fortnightly. Now, I will be more dedicated with everything else across the board, so there will be a weekly newsletter and I will be keeping up more with the threads in Ravelry. But sitting down to do the podcast, recording it and then editing and waiting for it to upload and everything else takes a good few hours. I haven't got that commitment of block of time anymore. So I'm going to record every other week, I promise. Hold me to it. And yeah, so this is now going to be a fortnightly podcast. So I hope you'll come along and enjoy it as much as I do. So, I have a really itchy finger. Oh dear, it's my ring finger. But anyway, right, I have today, like I said, I've got knitting and I've got crochet, I have got cross stitch, I have got sewing, I have got hand sewing, I've got acquisitions, and I've got shop talk. So, if you can hear any banging or anything, it's the cats or the dogs or the kids. Right, knitting first. I'll put my cup down. So, I have an FO. It's staring us in the face. This is my Find Your Fade by Andrea and Mowry. It's ginormous and I absolutely love it. No, the ends aren't woven in. They're kind of tucked up and hiding, and I've got it wrapped round front, back, front, tied, and then wrapped round again, so you can see the end dangling back here. It measured 4 metres that way, 2 metres that way, and then just under 6 metres that way when I blocked it out. So there was a lot of furniture moving and a lot of pins and wires, and I actually had to block it twice because it was so big I didn't have room. So I blocked one side of the spine. I wet it all, but I blocked one side of the spine and then kept the other side scrunched up so that it didn't distort too much. And then I re-dampened the other side of the spine and blocked that side whilst I pulled the other one out of the way whilst that was dry. It was an absolute delight to knit. I highly recommend it to everyone. If you can knit and purl, you can do this shawl. There is no reason why you can't. It is so simple and beautiful, and yes, I would like to do another one. I did cast another one on. I've put the project bag somewhere over there. But I realised that actually it's only it's the wrong end, but it's only about that much in, you know, just the little uterus part, should we say. But I really want to finish some other shawls before I start on that one, and there's so much else I want to knit this year that it'll probably now wait till I'm going to say the autumn, so September, October time, before I actually properly pick that up. Plus then it means I've got a chance to really be more picky about the yarns I want to go in it, because I have started it with this colour. So this is Moondrop by Vine. So that is colour number 1, and then I'm using Poe as the second colour, and then I'm using another silvery grey colour, and then it'll go to a darker grey, and then darker grey, and then almost black and the black. So it'll be a beautiful gradient from, you know, really pale to pitch black. I want to be fussy about the yarns that I'm putting in it, and that gives me time, you know, to shop around or to dye myself some beautiful yarns and things. Plus it's a great excuse to get some new colourways into the shop. So I'm liking that idea a lot. So this is my finished object, Find Your Fade by Andrea and Mowry. I'm not going to take it off because, like I said, it's all tied up under here and there's a lot of it. But what I will do at some point, I'm not promising today, but at some point I will take it outside and lay it out on the grass when it's dry. It's a bit damp and drizzly today, and I will do a little video of, you know, how actually big it is and give you a proper perspective, and, you know, do a few close-ups and things so you can see it nicely. So all the details for this and the yarns that I used, the amounts I used, I think I went down to 1/2 gram, so it's pretty yard specific, are on my project page. So if you've had any doubts, or you go, oh, I don't want to use 7 or 8 whole skeins, you don't need to. I deliberately did it because then it means that although in the pattern, once you've bought the pattern, it tells you approximately how much yards you need, you know, that's at her gauge and whatever, but I know now that at my gauge I need that many yards, sort of thing. And it might help some of you, you know. So go and take a look. Right, next up is my Oxbow cardigan, which is also by Andrea and Mowry. And I have done a lot of work on it. Now, excuse the crinkling, the pattern's in the project bag with it. It's shoved in here really tight. But it's now off the needles. That's a bit of a cheat, I suppose, because it's not finished, but it is off needles. I have done the sleeves and the body now. Ta-da! So now it's still attached to the ball. I haven't cut that off yet. Now I need to go and pick up the ribbed neckband and do that. But the main part of it is done. So this is going to be some of my main knitting over the next couple of weeks. It's lovely. I love this. So the yarn I used is Rico Melange Chunky, Chunky Glitz, Chunky, and it's in a purple colour. It's really pretty. If you want more details about it, it's all up on my Ravelry project page. And when I've attached the collar, I will put up the finished yardage and things. So this is the ball here. So there we go. Isn't that beautiful? I'm really, really enjoying this. This is going to be a massive staple in my wardrobe. And although I did say I want to knit another one, I don't. I love it. But trying to get the pattern correct has been a nightmare for me. It will be a lot easier in a plain colour, in a solid colour, or even a semi-solid colour, but not in a striping one. It kept throwing me, and in the end I was just like, you know what, no, I'm just going to go for it. So it's not 100% accurate as far as the keeping things are shifting. I mean, there's a section here on the top of the arm where, you know, I didn't change the pattern repeat at the appropriate moment because of decreases, and I'm just like, well, it's so busy, I can't really tell. Not unless you look up really close. But I'm wearing it and I'm happy with it, so it's fine. So that is my Oxbow. So I'll now fold that back up and push it back in the bag. No, I won't, because that's more crinkly. I'll just pop the bag down there. Like that. Project number 2. So, yes, all I've got to do on that is the collar. Sorry, I'm swivelling. I love my swivelly chair. And that's ribbed, so that shouldn't take too long. I don't need to think about it. I can just knit, knit, knit. So that shouldn't really take more than a few hours. No promises, but I do hope to have that for next week. So, more knitting. I have been working on my jumper from Petite Knits, which is the no frill sweater, and it's now on to bigger needles. Time to wrap me out. So it's grown quite a bit, actually. It doesn't really look like it, it feels like, but it has. I've spent quite a few hours on this. So here we go. Da, da, da. So that's the back here, and then the front. So this is, I've still got a little way to go. I think I've got about 3 more repeats of the raglans, maybe 4 more repeats of the raglans before I separate. The front is shorter than the back because it's got shorter shaping. Now the yarns I'm using are Berger de France Angel in the Pave colourway. Yep, there we go, Berger de France. I'll put all these details down below. And my leaf yarn's Pretty Gritty, which is merino nylon, and that's greys with black and pink and a few blue speckles in it. And I'm loving it. It's very easy to knit now. It looks far too small because I've got such a huge jumper and shawl on, but I have tried it on and it fits beautifully over my shoulders and over my head, so that's all that matters. Yeah. So that has been nice. I've not actually knit on this week yet, not since the weekend. But I plan to knit some more on that later this evening when I'm watching a film. We've been watching a lot of the Marvel films recently because although I've seen most of them, I haven't seen the newest ones. I think the newest one I've seen is Thor Ragnarok, which I love. Oh, love it. But Abby's never seen any of them, or she's only seen 1 or 2. So she's having an education. And also, we are watching the Mockingbird Mockingjay, one of the Hunger Games trilogy, and we have watched the first two, and we're now on part 1 of Mockingjay, Mockingbird, I can't remember. But yes, so we are watching that one hopefully this evening. But anyway, I don't know if you want to know what we watch or not, or what I like. But that's what we've been watching recently. Although saying that, last night we binge watched the entire season 1 of Friends, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was like, I'm finished knitting my sample, we can go to bed. But anyway, so this is Living in This project bag, which is from Down Cellar Studios, I think. The label is sewn in, and I can't really read it. Yes, Down Cellar Studios. And this was a prize that I won. So I absolutely love it. I will always have a project in this bag. So there we go. That is project number 3. Now, before I show you... No, I'll show you my socks next, because these haven't had a lot of love. And I rewarded myself last night by finishing a sample and said, right, I can knit on something socky now, because I've sort of realised that I haven't been knitting many socks recently. And that's not good as someone who dyes yarn for socks and jumpers and things. So, admittedly this isn't my yarn, but this is one that I bought at Craft for Crafters 2 years ago, I want to say. It was the last year that Sarah from Sarah's Texture Crafts vended there. So Sarah, if you remember which year that was, it was the same year I bought this yarn. This was either 2 or 3 years ago. So this is Opal Mit Silver Effect. Basically it's sparkly yarn. And this is the Sweet and Spicy, so it's colour 9092. Dye lot is 1340. So it is just commercial sock yarn. And it is 71% wool, 26% polyamide, 3% polyester. Now I'm assuming the polyester is the sparkle. So I'd started knitting it from the outside, and it was still in the factory ball cake, and it kept getting caught. So I had to hand wind it from the middle outward so I'd still be in the right place. But this is the yarn. That's really pretty. Now Abby is very jealous of these. So what I'm tempted to do is make myself these as shorty socks and then do contrast heels and toes and make her a pair as well. But we'll see. So as always, 2.5mm carbon tips at needles. And I'm now past the heel. So I am 8 rounds past the heel, but it's past the heel. Now last time I showed you, I think I was here, about here. So I've not done too bad. It's so pretty, very, very pretty. And I'm enjoying knitting on it. It's something that's very simple. I don't have to concentrate. And I've been so busy recently that I've not really had time to think. Which is why with my Oxbow cardigan I kept messing it up, because my mind's on, you know, several things at once. And yeah, no, not at the moment. I can't do complex anything at the moment really, knitting wise. I haven't actually got the headspace for it. But these have been a breath of fresh air to knit on. And they are so pretty. I absolutely love them. You know, it's blues and purples, and then it's got that touch of sort of burgundy colour and these bits here and here. And it's just a hint, and it makes the rest of the colours pop. So I really, really like them, and I can't wait to get these finished. This is only the 3rd pair of socks this year. I have these other 2 pairs here. So I do hope to get 12 pairs done, but I'm knitting so many samples that are that long. You know, that's sort of 50 rounds. And I'm like, 4.5, 5 samples is a pair of socks. So I'm technically knitting a lot of socks, they're just part of the sock. But they don't count. Because they're not a full sock. Oh, if only they were. So, I'll pop that back. Now, this is living in my bag here, my project bag. This is a Stargate bag that I got a long time ago. I'm a massive Stargate fan. This is from Tangerine Designs. And I managed to catch one of her updates years ago. I think about 5-6 years ago now. And I love it. So that can go back in there. Now the other thing living in there, I will show you later. I just kind of did a quick flip of it now, but it's actually a sample for the shop. I haven't actually snipped off the yarn, so I shall do that now. There we go. That was disconnected from the ball. Right, so I haven't done any spinning this week. I apologise for all of you who spin and were like, can't wait to see what happens next. I haven't done any more spinning on either of my wheels or my spindles. I was just looking at them because they're all on the windowsill in vases and pots and things. I haven't actually done any drop spindling or Turkish spindling or trindle spindling in the last 2.5 weeks. But I will, you know. I want to get a lot of it finished. Some of it I just need to, for example this one, I just need to ply it. Has that one been plied? No, I just need to, I don't think it has. I can't remember. Let's have a look. No, it's just very, very mild. I just need to ply it and it's done. You know, it's just been resting on me for so long that I forget and I just think, oh, that's pretty. But anyway, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 like that with finished cops on. But yes, so tangents, at least they're crafty tangents. Okay, so what next? Crochet. So crocheting, I have got, just move that out of the way, lots of crochet this week. I have done, as I showed you last week, I've been starting to wind up some balls of yarn that I got from Margaret. Margaret, you know who you are. My friend from abroad. And these are 4 squares that are going in my granny square blanket. So the first one is this one, which is a nice lilac. And it's beautiful. It's very tonal. And then this one is stunning. So this one's a very heavily speckled, but I think this is commercial. It looks like Regia or something, but I absolutely love it. And then this one is an alpaca blend, and it's beautiful violets and, you know, deep primula purples. And then the final one I've done for the crochet square blanket, the granny square blanket this week, is this one, which I think is also a commercial yarn, but this is a singles. So this one is a gradient yarn, and I'll show you the rest of the yarn ball in a minute, or what I made with it. So those 4 are for my granny square blanket. I still need over 100 squares for it, I realised. I did a recount, and unless I unjoin several rows and do them up the side instead, it's going to take a while, but it's fine. You know, I can do one of these in sort of 20 minutes. It's nice. So I still have, let's see, because I didn't have any left of a couple of them, but on the purple alpaca one, I have this much. Diddy. And on the heavily speckled commercial one, I had this much. So I don't think I can get any use out of these, but these are what I call eggs, my yarn eggs. So these will be kept just as little pretties, and they'll go in my sweetie jar I have a sweetie jar full of lots of these tiny weeny little bits. Now maybe I will do what I used to do with them, which is to do, you know, with the French knitting dolly and make a chain and then hang things off them. I'm not sure, but for now they're just going to stay. So I've still got 5 of those ones left from Margaret to do, and then I will be doing my Peter Rabbit set that I got from a lady on Etsy, but I wound them all up by hand, so I don't know how well you're going to be able to see those. They're very pretty, and these were just 5 that I chose. This one is especially pretty. It's blowing out, but there we go. It's very delicate colours. So these will be going next after those ones, because I have started another blanket for myself. Now I blame Philippa for this. Philippa, you know who you are, Philippa. Philippa from Portugal. We've been friends online for quite a while. She's a very bad influence on me, but a very good enabler. And I started the Baton Bird blanket as well. So out of those minis from Margaret, I managed to get 1 of my 5 round granny squares, and then 5 each of these little Battenberg squares. So that's the lilac-y ones, and then the speckly ones, and the purple ones, and then the one that I said is the gradient, this one, it went into the a sort of a bluey green colour, and then a more green here, and then a sort of purple and grey green, which is beautiful, and then went back through purple and into blue. Now I didn't have enough of the blue to finish it. I got 2 rounds done and 1 treble, so that's just a little one. But if I have, I'm very tempted to use some of this little purple one to finish it off, but if I don't have enough of this one, I'll need to add a 3rd one, and that in my mind is like, no. But anyway, so I have 4.5 technically of that one. Now my plan for these is that I will be using either grey or a very purpley mauve colour. Now I have, in my units, you see I've got some here, I've also got some in front up there, because I redid the craft room as well in the time I've been away. I have a whole cubby hole of yarns that I've dyed and I've kept. I have a beautiful one up there that would look lovely with these sort of colours. So this is primarily going to be blues and purples, with a few bits of green obviously, and then, you know, little other colours, but primarily I want this to be a blanket for in here for my chair. So it's not going to be huge, it's just going to be a lap blanket size, because otherwise it'll be another one that I take years and years and years and years. And in the mornings when I get up and I have my cup of tea in the kitchen, I will do a crochet square and these ones. So I'll do a whole mini skein each morning, you know, in that sort of half an hour, 40 minutes. And I want to be able to do that and get it done relatively quickly. So it's not going to be a big blanket, it's just going to be, I don't know, cot size I suppose. So then last Monday I woke up and went, or was it Sunday? I can't remember. It was Monday because I had Neve. Neve hadn't broken up from school yet. I woke up and decided I want to start a new crochet blanket for Neve. And Neve loves me making her blankets. So I went to the range and I bought more acrylic yarn. But that's fine, you know, it has its purpose, it has its place. Now I know it's not very ecological and everything else, but Neve is 10 and I want this blanket to last and be able to be machine washed because A, she likes to have snacks in bed, and B, the cats will sleep on her bed. Now I have one cat who's prone to fur balls. I don't want to hand wash fur balls, please, no. So one of the yarns I already had, Now they're all Karen Simply Soft, 100% acrylic. So it's this. So this one is Grey Heather. Now I had enough of this for a jumper. And then when I was in there, in the range, they didn't have any grey. So I've come home and I've used my own grey, and I shall replace it for my jumper. So the grey I'm using as the border. And then I bought 4 blues because Neve absolutely love the blue. So these are the colours. There we go. Aren't they pretty? So from darkest to lightest we have royal blue. We have cobalt blue. That's more azure to me, but anyway. We have robin's egg. That's very beautiful. I love this shade. I feel like I have a sneeze coming on. Anyway, and soft blue. Yes, I have a sneeze coming on. Sorry. At least I'm not a loud sneezer. I didn't blow anyone's eardrums or anything. So I've been using the hook that Abby bought me for Christmas. This beauty, which has actually been very inspiring for me, but I'll come to that later. And this is a 4mm hook. Now, to me, it looks like an old, I want to say Addy, but it's not Addy, it's Aldi needle. UK red packets. If you're English, you'll know what I mean. They're in every charity shop in the UK. But it works amazingly. And it's so nice because I find thin ones really difficult to use. But with this handle, I've got a better grip. That's just because of my fibro. But I have started and I have done 1 row. It's the wrong way up. So it's 12 across. There we go, see? Now her bed is 10 squares across, but I made it 12 so that she would have sort of tucking in room, I suppose. It's going on top of her blankets. But her bedroom is sort of between these colours. So this goes perfectly and she loves it. Now she's seen the colours but she hasn't seen the blanket yet because I want to finish it before I give it to her. So this is another one of my self-imposed must get this done projects, craft-wise. But I'm giving myself to Christmas to get this one done because she doesn't need it between now and then because, yes, it's still cold out there today. No, not pleasant. It might be spring on the weather, you know, but no, the calendar lies. It's not really the middle of April. It's more like the middle of November, but, you know. But that I want to get done in time for Christmas so that she can snuggle up with it. So that's my crochet. So, do I now talk about acquisitions or sewing? Let's talk about sewing. So, to my left here, I have my beautiful mannequin holding my black dress. Now, that's still not quite finished, but I have now got an idea of what I want to do with it. So, I will show you that properly. It's there because my sewing machine's there. And I've been doing a bit on it. I will talk to you more about that one next time. But for today, I have 2 pieces to show you that I have done. So last time, if you remember, I said I was going to make this one. So this is New Look 6952. And I made the smallest size and it fits amazingly. So I made E, which is this one here. So effectively it's the one shown here but without the ruffles. Now I've hung it on the window, so I'll just stand up and get it. There we go. Because I wanted to wear this and this wouldn't go with this. So, you know, compromise. But it is on the coat hanger. So here it is. And this is the ghastly web fabric that, you know, 3rd time lucky. I have this beautiful blouse, shirt, turned up cuffs, permanent turned up cuffs, they are stitched. And one of my favourite things to do actually was this button placket because it's the buttons on the inside. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but it's pink glittery buttons. No one knows but me. But there is pink in the fabric on various moths and bees and things. There's bits of pink on butterflies and stuff. And I absolutely love it. So this has been worn once. And it fits amazingly. I'm really pleased with this. The collar was an absolute dream. I always used to struggle with collars, but now I've got it so it matches and it lines up and everything fits where it's supposed to, and I was like, yes. I do still have quite a few scraps, so I do actually still have enough left, I think, to make a little project bag with, so I will do that. The darts in the front are in and out darts, if that makes any sense. I don't know the technical term, but they go narrow to deeper to narrow again. But yes. And then I was very particular with this in all my finishing. I wanted it to be really, really nice. So all my seams and things, if I just undo the button and show you, other than around this bit here, which I'm going to serge, but my serger machine, when I lifted it up the rod that the yarns feed through, it snapped to the threads, and I was like, no, I just want to carry on. So other than around the armholes, which I need to serge and then fold, I did all these beautiful hems, seams, and I'm really proud of them. Now they took a long time to do, but they look really neat and tidy. There's no exposed, no exposed thready bits or fabric. It's all encased. Now, I took photos while I was doing it so that I could show you, but what I'm going to do at some point is do a little tutorial on how I do this. I don't know if it's what you want. Let me know if you do want me to, because if not, then I will just post some photos in, Ravelry or something. But I think it'd be quite nice to do a tutorial just to show you guys, how I do things. I've not been taught this. It's just something that in my head went, I wonder. So yes. So there it is. My newest addition to my wardrobe. Now I'm quite funny. This is on a coat hanger that I borrowed from one of my kids, but my handmade objects, I'm just doing it at the button, all live on velvet coat hangers. So once I've shown this to you, it's going on a velvet coat hanger. It just makes my handmaids feel more special, having nice coat hangers to sit on. So yay, there we go. So that's that one done. So I'll pop that over there. Now, I'll move that one out of the way. Last week I'd said that I wanted to make this top as well. So this one here. So this is New Look K6483. So I did have enough left of the dandelion fabric to make this top, so I did that too. So I made the size 6. There was more ease in it than I thought there would be. So actually, I allowed less positive ease, and I prefer the fit of the garment. So the fit of the garment that I ended up with is how I like it to fit on me, as opposed to the recommended fit. I'm just going to have a little sip of tea. That's all this talking, I'm not used to it. So, this is up here. Now, this was an absolute joy to make. So here it is. Okay, so it's got a split hem at the bottom, which makes it much more flattering and feminine, I think. And then it's got linings around the arms and across here. Sorry about that, I ran out of memory room on my SD card. So I had to delete a few files and then carry on recording. So, this is the front. It's got a nice gentle scoop neck, and the back. Now again on this I pay particular attention to all the seams, and I did a very similar technique, but instead of doing it together I pressed them, folded them, and then did almost a double seam. So this is what you see on jackets and things, or jeans. It's not a rolled seam, but it is. Anyway, so you can see you've got the main seam here where the fabric connects, and then either side you've got a small seam where I have caught the pieces after folding them down and pressing them with an iron to, you know, stop them folding back up or becoming any threadbare or anything else. So another thing I like about this top is the keyhole in the back. It's not a proper keyhole as such, it's just a nice opening, and then I had to make a handmade button loop. Now I really enjoyed making this. It took me back to my embroidery days. So there you go. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that, but it's very pretty. There you go. You can just about see it on my nose. And I've just got a little plain black button, which has got a slightly lighter colour in the middle. And it's really beautiful, and it fits beautifully. And I'm really going to enjoy wearing this piece. It feels very flattering and me, and oh, I love it. Can you tell I love it? So I will definitely be making more of this particular pattern. I just need to get more drapey fabrics because it won't work in the heavier cottons and things that I have. It might work in some of the stretch fabrics I've got that are burnt out lace velvet, but we'll see. So yes, this is viscose, and I really want some more, but yeah, so I'll pop that over there as well. Ta-da! So that is my sewing that I finished this week. Now I have prepped for my next 2 sewing projects after I finish that black dress. And by prepped I mean the fabric is washed and pressed, the pattern pieces are cut out, and I've ordered any extra, notions that I might need. So this dress is in my list, and this is coming up next. So this is the Vogue V9 182, and this dress I'm using my, I suppose, sort of an olivey khaki fabric, which has got lots of small backs all over it. Excuse me. So this is the piece, this is the dress that I will be starting next. Like I said, I have cut out all the pieces already for my size and then put them back in so that I don't lose any of it. Now this dress requires, for my size, 3.5 metres. So I have 4 metres of the fabric in question. So that gives me plenty of wiggle room, and it means that I can hopefully orientate the pattern pieces so that it's all the correct way up. Because you are supposed to allow extra for pattern matching and things. Now the fabric is such a way that all the backs are flying in the same direction. So I do need to have it the correct alignment, if that makes sense. But yeah, so that is coming up next. And then I ordered my, what do you call them, dungaree buckles, because I'm making the Clio. Now I have seen so many of these on Instagram and on Tillian Buttons tags and things, and I was just like, I wouldn't ever wear it, I wouldn't ever wear it, but I was really jealous. And then last year, not in the summer, last winter, I bought a dungaree dress and I had so much use out of it that, you know, like I said last time, I want to make several. So the first one I'm making is using some heavyweight cotton. It's canvas, and it's music and cats. You'll see it next time when I show you. But I've also cut out all the pieces for this one, and I've read through the pattern books. The pattern book, it's a separate little pamphlet that goes in it, and I love that. And it's done with photographs and things. Now, I'm used to working from patterns with just the standard, 4 sides of a page with 3 languages sort of details and having to muddle through it. But this one, it actually threw me because there's so much detail and visual references. So in a way, it's so well laid out that I had to take a step back and go, okay. It's almost like I'm being taught how to make it in person. And I love that. And I do have lots of Tilly and the Buttons patterns that I want to work my way through. I can see another 4 from here, 5. So I'm really going to enjoy making this. And it shouldn't take too long. It's a very simple pattern. And like I said, I want to make more than one, so I better get started on this one. So that is my sewing plans next. I'm not going to say that will happen in the next 2 weeks. One of them will definitely. I want to start on one of them tomorrow. I don't have time today now because the day's gotten away from me. So that's it for sewing. I will very quickly move on to, well, it's not completely it for sewing. I bought a few weeks ago now, but it got lost in the post. This book, which is Luna Lapin, and it's by Sarah Peel, and it's making Luna Lapin, Sew and Dress Luna, a quiet and kind rabbit with impeccable taste. Now this is a beautiful book. It's so wonderful, and I just couldn't resist. And I have a couple of friends on Instagram who are also making her. So there she is, without any clothes. So I went out and I bought the felt, and I'm put these aside. These are all my pattern pieces. So I've traced them out and, started prepping. So I just got 3 sheets of grey and 3 sheets of this chocolate brown, because I have so many different scraps of fabric that I want to make 2. One will be for me and one will be for Neve. And I'm going to make all the little outfits and then do variations, and I'm even thinking about making little knitted pieces for her, jumpers and scarves and hats and things. Partly it's an excuse to knit using my yarns, but there isn't a massive commitment. It'll be fun, it's something that I can do, with Neve, or just when I want to do something completely separate from my normal projects and things. So that I have started. I've cut out the pattern pieces and I've dropped some down here. I'm not going to show them to you because that's copyright and blah blah blah. But the other sewing I've done this week, I have started, just to make sure it's right way up, yes, a cross stitch. Now, I got this kit to make for Neve, and I didn't get around to doing it in time for Christmas, so this is this one, and it is from Little Beach Hut, and it's the Sleepy Fox. Now she's on Etsy, and oh, it's beautiful. Now this, yesterday, it took me a good couple of hours around everything else, but it was really nice to sort of daydream when I was doing it, I think. And I swear, this Sleepy Little Fox has all sorts of adventures, just like my Nevie. So yes, I'm really enjoying it, and that will be happening, on and off. Not every week I'm going to show it to you. I just wanted to show it to you this week because I've started it. So there we go. And it was a full kit. I got everything I needed in the kit, including needle. So the last 2 things, I suppose. Abby, bless her, nearly 2 weeks ago now, she went to Wool on the X. Now this is our local yarn store, and it's about 20 minutes on the bus from us, and it's called Wool on the X Adventures in Yarn. Now, I wasn't expecting it, but after work one day, she just sent me this photo, stood in the yarn shop, and I was like, what are you doing in there? That's my space. But she actually went in and she bought me presents. Bless her. Sorry about the crinkling. So, the first yarn that she bought me was the Devonia, and it's an elegant blend of Devon bred fibres. Now this is a John Arbon Textiles, and it's 50% Exmoor Blueface, 30% Blueface Leicester and 20% Wensleydale, and it's 100% Devon wool. So this is in sort of a 60-mile radius. Yay! Can't get much more local than that. So it's from Linton, which isn't that far from me. So this is the Nightshade colour. Now Abby picked this up because she thought it would look nice for a jumper for me. But she only bought one skein just in case I wasn't 100% on it, but I think it's beautiful. So she said that she will get me whatever quantity left I need for my birthday or whatever. So I love this. Now the other two are from a new to me company. There's a hand dyer called River Knits, and these are both 100% British Blueface Leicester superwash wool. 100 grams is 400 metres. So this one is called So What If I'm a Pansy. Now, pansy being the flower, and also pansy is an old derogative term for being gay. Now, I don't mind being called pansy. It doesn't bother me. Yes, it's a slur, but hands up, I'm gay. But it's beautiful. So this is pansy. And then the other one is called March Riot. Now this absolutely took my breath away. So these two will both be being shawls, because there's no nylon and I won't be putting them anywhere near my feet. I could make them into hats and gloves, but no, they're definitely going to be shawls. Either on their own or with a complementary contrast colour for a 2-colour shawl. And this one will be a jumper. So I felt very lucky that day. I was so happy that I actually had a little tear. So I'll just put those back. Now, the other piece of yarn that I have come in was actually from a collaboration that I did with my friend Carrie. Now, Carrie has her own podcast, My Wool Mitten, and she lives in America. I'm not going to go into exactly where, but she sent me yarn and I dyed it, and then she said I could keep a skein, and I sent the rest back. So that's what I mean by collaboration. She wanted me to dye the yarn. It was her yarn that from her flock that went to a mill, and she got it back as yarn, and then I dyed it for her so that she could then use it. So this one I named Serenity Farm, and it's sport weight, and it's Corriedale and alpaca. So it's her Corriedale sheep and a neighbouring friend farmer's alpaca. So I dyed this beauty. Isn't that lovely? Not to toot my own horn, but I love this. This will be part of a colourwork sweater. Now I have other sport weight yarns that will look lovely with this. This will be the colourwork part. I absolutely love it. It's really soft. It's not very, very soft. If you're sensitive, I wouldn't say this is next to skin soft. I am sensitive, but I think I can get away with this. And as a jumper, it won't be rubbing on my skin all the time anyway. So yes, I'm really, really excited, and I couldn't wait to show you this. But I've had to wait quite a few weeks now, because obviously I had to wait for her to get the yarn back and everything else. So I dyed this and I love it. And I can't wait to knit with it. But it will have to wait. It has to sit in my stash and, wait to get down my queue a bit and projects and have a worthwhile and worthy jumper to be knit out of it. So thank you, Carrie. I thoroughly enjoyed doing this with you. So, on to proper shop talk. I'm only going to show you one yarn this week, and it's one that you've actually seen before, but I've knit the sample now. So, I've got the yarn ball on top of the end. This is Nettle. Now here's a mini skein that that I used. Oh, sorry, too close. And here it is knitted up. So with my samples, I do 2 colours each side in rib, and then I do 8 stripes in just stockinette. Now this is the same gauge that I do my socks at, so this is effectively the leg part of a sock, a shorter sock, but a sock. It's only actually, let's see, 14 rounds shorter than the leg on my sock for a heel. So this is what I mean by every one of these. If I do 5, that's a pair of socks, an actual pair of socks. And I've been doing a lot of them, and I plan to do more, obviously, one for every colour that I dye. And I've also got something really cute that I'm doing with these, with each of the colours, each stripe I'm doing something with, just a tiny mini project, and I'm going to be doing a little video with them. So keep your eyes peeled for that. It's something really exciting. So, well, fun anyway. Exciting for me to do anyway. Just a little, promotion for my colours and things. But it's cute. So, there we go. This is Nettle. And there is the mini skein. Now, there are no new colourways this week. I did quite a big batch on the last episode. So I still have 2 weeks where I don't need to do another new colourway according to my dyeing schedule that I set myself at the beginning of the year. So next week, next time I record, I will probably have a couple of new colourways. But for now, I'm quite happy with the ones that I've got on target. So, other shop news. This week, I have been going through old stock, and I found some project bags that I put away, but they're going to go up in the shop this Friday. So 2 of them admittedly are Christmas themed, but they will be going up in the shop anyway. So there is this one, which is the Nativity, and it's got the 3 wise men on it. So these are just sock bag sized. And then there's this one, and Zoop Cloak, that's it. This one's Father Christmas and Gingerbread Men and things. So again, that's just another sock size. It's a small one. And then I have got I've got 2 of the Nativity ones. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 large project bags, or large-ish. And you'll definitely get a shawl in here or a children's jumper. And so it's folded in 4 in the project bag. But I have 6 Star Wars project bag. Now this is original, I think it's 1978 Star Wars fabric. So these will be going in the shop this Friday. There aren't any more. I can't get any more fabric. So if you like Star Wars and you'd like a Star Wars project bag, please don't hang around. Jump in and get one. These will be on leafyarns.com, not the Etsy shop, because I'm trying to get my traffic now all onto leafyarns.com. I won't be adding new stock to Etsy at all from now on because it's April. And I did say, from the 1st of April, I wouldn't be adding new stuff to Etsy. So once what's on Etsy is gone, it's gone. So yes, leafyarns.com. Now it is linked in Instagram. So there's 8 project bags going in this Friday. And then, over the next few months, I have got about another 50 in here. These are all just flat. That will be going up into the shop. All different sorts, different styles. They're all sort of drawstring, because I like drawstring project bags. Yes, I have some zipped ones, but I think 90% of my project bags are drawstring, so I make what I know I enjoy using. They've all got toggles, or boggles, however you like to say it. So I have got all sorts in here, from cats to frogs to traditional batik to 70s, owls, Christmas stuff, umbrellas, stripes, Chinese print, you know, gilt. Let's see what else. Cute foxes, hedgehogs, all sorts. And I have a lot more as well that will be going in as I get through my fabrics. If you have any particular style that you'd like, okay, style's probably the wrong word. Fabric taste, that's the one. So if you say, I want a squirrel project bag or something else, send me a convo and I will, you know, show you some fabrics and make one. You know, I'm not averse to doing custom project bags for people. So, that was a busy episode, wasn't it? I hope you enjoyed it. Please join the group on Ravelry, Leaf Yarns and Podcast. You know, come and join in the conversations. Leave a comment below in the thread for this week's episode. By all means, join in the cal that I've got going on. And I intend to update the product thread as I get around to it, as I'm photographing yarns and colourways and things, and little videos in there. I'll be doing that a bit more each week so that you can see my catalogue. So if I haven't got it in the shop, you can look through there and go, oh, I really like that one. And if you feel so inclined, custom order me to do you one, or several, or whatever. Please like and subscribe down below, and if you want to know each week when I put out a new episode, then you know, if you click on the little bell, you'll get an alert come through. And if you want to join or sign up for the newsletter that I have, you can find the link for that on leafyarns.com at the bottom. If you scroll right down at the bottom, there's a subscription box to fill in. On my website, leafyarns.com, I have the main page, which is just a few of them. But if you go up to the top and click on catalogue, all the yarns that are available are there. You know, and they don't normally take more than 2 weeks to get from me to you. That's my, you know, my threshold for myself sort of thing. I give myself a 2-week turnaround from the time you click buy to the time it gets to your front door. But I can't be responsible for overseas post. That is my only caveat. So, that is it for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. And I will see you all in a couple of weeks. Bye.